Chinese President Xi Jinping met with his U.S. counterpart President Joe Biden recently. How would you evaluate this meeting?
I think that the fact they've had this meeting, it was 3.5 hours long, that Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, and Liu He from the Chinese or economic policy point of view were there. I think that suggests, the mood music suggests that it was successful in drawing a tentative line under what's been happening. Now, the biggest problem is undoubtedly, I think, Taiwan, because Taiwan is dangerous. It's dangerous because China attaches huge importance to it, and that is not going to change. It is about the reunification of China. And on the other hand, the Americans have clearly been, what shall we say, engaging in slippage on their commitment to the one China policy in various ways. And so that was really creating a sense of concern and alarm, I think, both in Beijing and in Washington and around the world. And the second problem is the economic problem. Really, this has been the underlying thread, hasn't it? And I think that it's possible that looking at what's become out of the meeting, that there might be, again, some sort of understanding on this.
Do you think this meeting would mark a turning point for China-US relations?
I don't think we should exaggerate it. We're not going to go back to where we were before Trump, because this is a problem that's rooted in a major shift across the whole of American society against China. What are the roots of this? The roots of this, in my opinion, are that China has turned, in the American eyes, from being an opportunity to being a threat. What kind of threat? The threat, in my view, in American eyes, is that China, as it's developing, will replace the United States as the dominant, as the leading power, if you like, most important power in the world. And I think there's been an underestimation in China of just the potentially toxic turn that shift from opportunity to threat can lead to in the way America perceives and also behaves towards China. Part of the American DNA is that it is the leader of the world. And this obviously is not going to be the case in the longer term. But how is America going to come to terms with this reality? This is a real existential crisis, not just for the government in DC, but for the average American. So that is a very big problem. And that problem's not going to go away, which is why, in my view, there'll be no return to the status quo ante, in other words, the period prior to Trump.